Hello and welcome to Explore Network. Today, we take you into the fascinating world of Hollywood, where secrets and glamour intertwine. I've gathered some special insights about Dame Joan Collins, unveiling some of the deep secrets hidden behind her captivating persona. So let's dive in and uncover the secrets of Dame Joan Collins. Dame Joan Collins shares the secret to her incredibly youthful looks at 90 after fans are left in disbelief at her ageless appearance. Number 1. Dame Joan Collins, at 90 years old, made a sensational appearance at the recent 2024 Emmy Awards, captivating everyone with her age-defying grace and style. The Dynasty star turned heads in a pale blue gown, beautifully adorned with sequins, paired with matching opera gloves. This choice of attire not only accentuated her glamorous style, but also highlighted her remarkably youthful complexion. This stunning display set social media abuzz, with fans flocking to Twitter to express their disbelief and admiration. One fan exclaimed, "Dame Joan Collins is 90 years old and still poppin'." Another echoed the sentiment, saying, "I would like everyone to know that Joan Collins is literally 90 years old. That's a diva." The compliments continued, with another adding, "Joan Collins looks ridiculous for 90 years old," and yet another stating, "I don't understand how Joan Collins is 90 years old. Queen." The playful and affectionate comments didn't stop there. Fans continued to marvel at her ageless beauty, with remarks like, "Dame Joan Collins serving at 90 years old," and "living up to her name and legacy." The Emmys, "Joan Collins has not aged since 1979, said one more. Another shared their pleasant surprise and well wishes. "I did not expect Joan Collins to appear on my TV screen. I'm glad Mother is doing well. She looks phenomenal." So, what is the secret behind Joan's remarkable youthfulness? Joan credits her nutritionist Gabriella Peacock's advice, stating to Hello, "Gabriella's advice is wise and wonderful, and her tips for looking good and feeling fabulous are always priceless." Gabriella shed light on Joan's dietary regimen, emphasizing portion control. "I recommend to my clients that smaller portions help to maintain a balanced approach to eating, and also help to regulate your blood sugar levels throughout the day to ensure you have stable energy levels," she tells Hello. Discussing Joan's breakfast routine, Gabriella mentioned, "Unflavored live yogurts without a lot of sugar are great to keep your energy levels up, and berries again will help to boost longevity and also give a bit more sweetness to the yogurts, which helps." She also highlighted the importance of omega-3 rich foods like salmon, noting, "These foods contain essential fatty acids that play a role in supporting skin health, contributing to a radiant appearance and promoting longevity." Gabriella's approach to balanced meals involves having more substantial meals during the day and lighter ones in the evening, focusing on leafy vegetables and protein, especially oily fish. The author of 2 Weeks to a Younger You believes this diet regime is essential for maintaining overall health and well-being. Number 02. Joan Collins reveals why she prefers sleeping on her back. Secrets to her timeless beauty. In the world of glory, Dame Joan Collins has been a timeless icon, not just because of her successful acting career, but also due to her age-defying beauty. In a recent interview in The Telegraph, Joan Collins gave a brief analysis of her beauty regime. She also cleared the rumors about her undergoing facial surgery. For years, there have been speculations about Collins undergoing facial surgery due to her ageless appearance. However, she cleared the air, saying, Number 03. The simple beauty rituals that work for Joan Collins. Videos. Collins' beauty regime is basically accessible to all. She relies on a 5.50 pounds Nivea cleanser, which she uses to remove her makeup before applying a facial night cream by Charlotte Tilbury. Moreover, she said that she tends to sleep on her back more than often. The reason behind this is to avoid the dreaded scrunchy face that can develop when one sleeps on one side. Her dedication to these practices has given her the result in the form of her radiant skin. Another skincare tip Joan Collins revealed is a French moisturizer, which she continues to reapply on her skin throughout the day, especially after washing her hands. This highlights the importance of keeping your skin hydrated to reduce the aging of your skin. Joan Collins, when it comes to makeup, keeps it to the basics and minimal. She considers lipstick as her go-to cosmetic. Lipstick seems to be a small choice but has a lasting effect and is an important contributor to her ageless look. However, Collins' beauty is not just due to her minimal makeup or simple daily routines. Her disciplined diet is also an important aspect to be considered. She stated that she has bid farewell to certain foods like donuts and hamburger buns. Thus, keeping a command of her food intake has also helped her maintain her beauty standards. Dame Joan Collins has opened about her beauty rituals and best-kept secrets, including using a 5 pounds and 50 pence cleanser and always sleeping on her back. Collins, 90, also set the record straight about whether she'd ever had any work done in an interview ahead of the release of her new book. "A lot of people think I've had a ton of work done," the Golden Globe winner wrote in The Telegraph. "To set the record straight, I have not." The outspoken star continued, "I haven't had Botox, I haven't had any tweakments, I haven't had fat injections, and honestly, when I look at the women who have, certainly a lot of women in their 40s, it appalls me. I also always sleep on my back," she continued. "I've trained myself too, because I used to sleep on my side, scrunched up into the pillow, and then I was told not to because it gives you scrunchy face." Which is absolutely true. Collins shared that she reapplies her French moisturizer several times during a day, every time I wash my hands, and the one makeup product she always uses is lipstick. She also said she exercises portion control while eating and gave up certain foods, such as donuts and hamburger buns, because "I want to look, feel, and be a certain way." The actor and author continued, "I don't understand why people seem to find self-discipline so hard. For me, it's really very simple. I want to look, feel, and be a certain way, and I know I won't get any of those things if I'm a glutton." Collins has repeatedly addressed cosmetic surgery rumors over the last decade. In a 2012 interview with Glamour magazine, she admitted trying Botox once when it hurt like hell. She added, "Plus, you see all these plastic surgery nightmares these days. I have girlfriends who've had Botox and been left with lumps in their faces. And the lips, don't even get me started." In a separate interview with The Mirror, the former Dynasty star described Botox as agony and said it's far better to look after your skin and get a few lines, just like Helen Mirren, Judi Dench, and, well, me.
No 04.
Dame Joan Collins advises people of 75 plus to eat quarter of what they ate in 20s if they want to stay slim. Dame Joan Collins says people aged 75 and over need a quarter of what they ate in their 20s if they want to stay slim. The 90-year-old actress added she thinks she is going to live until 100 due to her diet, skincare, and exercise habits, and insisted she has only had Botox once. She told the Daily Express about maintaining her looks. "No knives. Had Botox once, years ago. Hated it. I'm an actress. I have to have expression. You need half the food at 50 as you ate at 25. Half as much again at 75. I'm going to live to be 100, and I am telling you. Look after your skin. Never leave the house without makeup. Don't diet, just eat less. Never drink tap water. If you need to drop a few pounds to fit into something, eat boiled eggs and broccoli for 3 days. If you must snack, more broccoli. Exercise a little. I hate it, but you have to." Joan, who married her fifth husband Percy Gibson, 58, in 2002, added she doesn't think about their age gap. When asked if it played on her mind, she declared, "Never once. Percy's age is the last thing on my mind. We worked together and fell in love quite unexpectedly. He's my reward. As everyone knows, I kissed a lot of frogs." She also advised people to toughen up to survive modern life and not to dwell on tragedies such as the deaths of friends. Joan added, "Do it yourself, whatever it is. My parents taught me that. They also warned me that life would not be easy, but that I just have to get on with it. That is what I have always done. I've lost many dear ones to cancer. Several were diagnosed with it right after they'd been through a terrible shock or had dreadful things happen to them. My advice, for what it's worth, get over it. Whatever it is, don't brood. Be resilient. Never think about what might have been. Play the cards you've been dealt. Any day now could turn out to be your last." Number 05 exclusive interview with Joan Collins. My timeless beauty secrets and why I won't be defined by age. You would never know it to look at her, But Joan Collins is just weeks away from her 81st birthday. And now the actress has revealed the secret of her age-defying looks, avoiding the sun. In an exclusive interview with Today's You magazine, the former Dynasty star says, "I have always worn sun protection and have kept my face away from harmful rays since I was 20. You should see me when I wake up in the morning. My face is so white, it's like a sheet." The 5 times married actress added that it takes her no time at all to transform into a glamour queen. Half an hour for a full face with lashes. I shove it on, that's why it's called slap. Makeup has come on hugely. When I was growing up, there wasn't much makeup and there were no tricks. It was quite harsh, really. What the Hollywood stars relied upon was fantastic lighting. Miss Collins also works out with a personal trainer twice a week and swims every day, yet admits, "I'm a chocoholic, but I believe that moderation is the key." She adds that she has never defined her style by her age, saying, "I'll wear a leather skirt, even a bikini, if I want to. Clothes are my passion and I adore them." The quips may be withering, but the looks and the chutzpah certainly aren't. At 80, Joan Collins is still blazing a trail with her books and business ventures, and now there's a new beauty line devoted to screen siren glamour for all. One would feel less compelled to talk about Joan Collins's age if only she looked it. Until recently, the exact figure was shrouded in mystery. We knew that she started her film career in her late teens in the 1950s. We knew that she was in her 40s for those sexy scenes in the 1978 film The Stud. We knew her icily perfect Alexis in Dynasty, saw her hitting 50, and that role began in 1981. And we knew that Percy Gibson, who became husband number 5 age 36 at Claridge's in 2002, was 30-plus years her junior. But it would have been rude to dwell, so we left it alone and quietly marveled. But now we know that Joan Collins will be 81 in May. There was a muted fanfare last year when she reached the octogenarian milestone because looking at her and talking to her, who would believe it? Today she is luminously beautiful in black trousers, a sheer black blouse and furry gilet. She's a wonder, but she's a late wonder, and an impatient one. She arrives for the U photo shoot at Claridge's an hour and a half later than expected, blames one of the crew for further delaying her arrival on set, and behaves in a diva-ish fashion all afternoon. "It takes me half an hour for a full face with lashes. I shove it on, that's why it's called slap." Not rude, but quick-witted and grand enough to give the impression that it's always someone else's fault. But one would expect no less from this much-married entrepreneurial authoress, a woman who has survived success and scandal, and who has remained, through all of it, human. Joan released her third and most salacious autobiography yet, Passion for Life, late last year, and she spilled the men, the sex, all the good stuff. I wonder, after reading about her first husband, Maxwell Reed, who drugged and raped her on their first date and later offered to sell her to an Arab sheik for £10,000. Her second husband, the notoriously priapic Anthony Newley. Her third husband, the high-powered Ron Cass who lost his job, descended into cocaine and heroin addiction and left her catastrophically in debt, and her fourth, Peter Home, or the Swede, a mixture of obdurate dullard and calculating sociopath, whom she caught in their bed with a woman named Passion Flower. If she might be a bad picker, she's rather affronted. Clearly today is not the day to suggest that anything might be Joan's fault. Bad picker? She sniffs with transatlantic Hollywood crispness. I don't think so. The fathers of my 3 children, Newley and Cass, seemed really good at the time. Ron Cass was running Apple Records when I met him. A very successful American businessman, very get up and go, very ambitious, very talented. And Tony was the toast of London. I mean, he was one of the jeunesse dorée of the 60s and his name was on everybody's lips. So, I picked them. Do think the first one, Maxwell Reed, was a mistake, a big mistake, but I was 18 going on 11, so what the hell? And the Swede, she says, was menopausal lunacy. There was lots of romance. Warren Beatty, Nicky Hilton, Harry Belafonte, Ryan O'Neal, Terrence Stamp to name but a few, in between the weddings. But although she may not have been born glamorous, nobody is, She was certainly born beautiful. One biographer talks about a "do not kiss" sign that her mother hung on her pram. That sign might have saved her some time, grief, and cash in Hollywood. You know, I was voted the most beautiful girl in England by the Photographers Association when I was 18, and they went to my father and said, "What do you think?" And he said, "I'm amazed. I mean, she's a nice-looking girl, but nothing special." You could have a ball connecting Joan's later dalliances to her father Joseph's behavior while she was growing up. The fathers of my 3 children seemed really good at the time. But the first husband was a big mistake, and the Swede was menopausal lunacy. Joseph, a South African theatrical agent, was not particularly interested in encouraging Joan and her sister Jackie. He told Joan that she would be washed up by the time she was 23. He never joined the family on holiday. Too busy, Joan discovered later, carrying on with showgirls. He treated his wife Elsa like a slave. Watching him hurl a plate of fish and peas across the dining room onto one of Mummy's precious Knoll sofas was one of my most harrowing childhood memories, but was nonetheless traumatized when Elsa died of cancer in 1962. Despite Joan's many autobiographies, her mother still feels a bit sketchy. Perhaps because women at that time were expected to be devoted, unquestioning wives, some dulled themselves down and simplified themselves within their domestic environment. But Elsa has to have been reasonably ballsy. She was a champion ballroom dancer. Joan can still, with a little limbering up, do the splits before she married and gave up her career. She was a saint, says Joan. She was very funny and charming, and everybody who knew her loved her. She insisted that we took all our vitamins during the war, because food was rationed and we had to take cod liver oil and all sorts of supplements that no one knew about. And that was intelligent thinking because she knew we weren't getting the nourishment we needed. She was very into no sweets and eating your greens, and she started me on skincare when I was 13. When I was voted the most beautiful girl in England, my father said, "I'm amazed. She's a nice-looking girl, but nothing special." Joan never saw Elsa without her lipstick. She used Pond's cold cream and Coty face powder and Revlon Fire and Ice lipstick. She had this mascara that was in a little black patent box that she used to spit in and rub a brush in. And then she had an eyebrow pencil because she had overplucked in the 1920s. She loved her makeup. And we all learned this stuff at our mother's knee. Joan has always declared that makeup is good for the skin, that it protects and nurtures. None of that "let your skin breathe" spiel for her. I'm often amazed, she wrote in 2011's The World According to Joan, when some lined, red-faced, blotchy-skinned woman proudly announces to me that she's never allowed an ounce of makeup to touch her face. Well, bully for you, ma'am, if you want to go to the grave looking like Dracula's grandma. So, finally, this magnificent ambassador for cosmetics, this shining light of lipstick, powder, and paint, who, I might add, has been doing her own face since she was 21. She always applied her own makeup for Dynasty. Just Google it to remind yourself how beautifully, is launching her own cosmetics line, Joan Collins. Timeless beauty, backed by George Hammer, the forward-thinking beauty mogul behind Harrods Urban Retreat. "Why aren't you wearing any makeup?" she asks me. Earlier I applied tinted moisturizer, bronzer, blusher, eyeshadow, and mascara for this encounter, but to Joan Collins's gimlet eye, this is just sloppy. She believes in a full face. I have a goddaughter who's 25, and she has a sister who's 27, and I went to stay with them last weekend, and they both wore a full face of makeup, and they looked amazing. Most girls of their generation do not know how to put on makeup and just go into department stores and get confused, but they said they had read my book My Secrets. Look how beautiful they are. She hands me her iPhone, and there are 2 polished young beauties sitting on a club fender.
Theo Financial Dagger.
One is called Coco, the other is Emerald. And she is my goddaughter, one of my goddaughters, along with Cara Delevingne. I love how she slips that in. Tom Ford rocked up to her most recent book launch along with Valentino and Mario Testino. This lady has muscle. Her newest friend is Tracy Emin, and she says that Kate Moss and I hit it off. She is nothing if not au courant. But then again, she remembers how things were. I often wear wigs, they save time. Not to mention my own hair. Makeup has come on hugely, she says. I remember when I was growing up there wasn't much makeup and there were no tricks. It was quite harsh, really. What the Hollywood stars relied on was fantastic lighting. I mean, I met Marlene Dietrich once, very briefly, when she was at the Café de Paris and I was about 18, and she was not that beautiful or tall or impressive. But her lighting in all her movies. If you see The Scarlet Empress or Shanghai Express, well, she made me look dowdy in comparison. Alan Whitey Snyder, the legendary makeup artist who created Marilyn Monroe's doe-eyed pouty look, taught Joan how to put on her face. Until then it had been pant stick, loads and loads of powder. You could use baby powder, lipstick and thick black eyebrows because we all wanted to look like Elizabeth Taylor. Initially, Joan was marketed as the English Elizabeth Taylor, but actually I think she's prettier. Well, I am now because she's dead, retorts Miss Collins. Quite so. Those were some secrets we've unearthed today from Dame Joan Collins' life. Her journey is filled with both sparkle and challenges, and she has overcome every obstacle with her sweet smile and determination. There's much to learn from her story, to never give up and to work hard to turn your dreams into reality. Remember, anything is possible in life. Thank you and goodbye.